starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day on PulseChain and crypto. Your host Superman in the house, and welcome to the Crypto Night Show. Hope you guys are having a good time out there. Man, things are heating up. This show today is really going to highlight some of the bullish things that are happening on PulseChain. We got onboarding, more onboarding coming, more protocols onboarding. I mean, I cannot say how important that is, and that is a big deal. It's one of the things that Richard Hart said in his recent video. It is onboarding. And we've been highlighting that on this channel because we know how important it is. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed. We're obviously going to have bigger money coming because of onboarding, and it's going to attract a lot of new players onto PulseChain. Remember, after winning against SEC, PulseChain becomes one of the most valuable blockchains on the planet, and of course, the assets on it very valuable. So it is massive. It is massive. I cannot understate that. It's absolutely huge. So this is going to be really, really exciting going forward. We've got a few people in the house here as well. So let's say hello. We've got Good God in the house there. A big shout out to the King community. Good God absolutely crushing out there. Absolutely amazing. So really proud to be working with them. We've got Crypto Utah in the house as well. Big shout out to Crypto Utah. Those guys with Inferno and the rest of their products doing absolutely amazing also. And they're also getting ready for really, I think, a big rally. So very, very cool. Big shout out to Crypto Utah there. Well, let's have a look here. We've got a couple other stuff going on here. Let me get into it. So we're going to be talking about, obviously, the stock market. We're going to talk about the crypto markets. Of course, we do that coverage every day, looking at what's performing really well. We're obviously going to zoom into PulseChain pretty heavily today and look at the on-ramps. We're going to have a lot more on-ramps coming. I cannot say how important that is. You guys know, if you want your bags pumped, we need new players and more capital. And this is what we're going to highlight today. So this is going to be pretty bullish. We're also going to get into some of the key players and some of our leaders in the PulseChain community pushing this. Now, obviously, there's a huge amount of people in the community doing a lot of stuff. We're playing our part. I know you guys are playing your part out there. It is pretty important just to spread the word, like network effect, all that sort of stuff. And, of course, now's the time. Now's the time to really start picking that up because we are just before that banana phase. And, of course, we've been playing that video on that. We're going to play that again. Now, I'm going to do a few shout-outs as well to some people in the community that have been really supportive. We're going to get into that. And, of course, then we're going to end up with the Crypto Night Show's own promotions team. We've set up, I think it's the only professional promotions team on PulseChain, and we're just ramping up. We've got a lot of things planned, and if you partner up with us, it's going to be pretty exciting. And, of course, we've got our promotional lead, MBS, out there absolutely crushing it. So, yeah, we're opening up networks that other people don't have, and this is really exciting. So keep a lookout for that. We're doing some pretty cool stuff. Now, let's get into it. We're going to get onto the markets. So let me see here where I am on this one. Actually, we're going to repost the show. So if you're not out there, got to repost the show, right? So definitely do that. And I'm going to repost it too. And I'm going to give you guys the link so you can repost it just to get things off humming and nicely. So repost show on X and get out there. How would you do a capitalized X there? I don't know what happened there. Repost the show. Show on X, and that is the link there. So yeah, get out there and do it, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, what else we got going? Yeah, we've got quite a few things coming up. Next week I'll be launching something new, and then we got something else coming up after that. So and then we got something else happening at the moment, which is about to hit. So we've got a few things on. Pretty awesome stuff. We're really enjoying what's coming here for PulseChain here. So take a moment and repost the show on X. If you're on there, just hit the repost button. That'd be really great. All right, let's get into it without further ado. Let's get into the markets. And we're going to kick off with the stock market, of course, and see how that is tracked overnight. Now, obviously, it is Saturday here in New Zealand. It's currently midday. Of course, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's still Friday, and we've just finished the Friday markets closed several hours ago. So these are the results from Friday's results. So Wall Street closes near flat with focus on US-China talks. Obviously, China talks this weekend. I think it's in Switzerland or Sweden, one of those two. So that's going to be coming up. And, we've had a really good week, haven't we? Excuse me, on the back of the UK-US free trade deal after 25 years. Really bullish for the market, so it's been really cool. Then we've got the Dow Jones at the moment down 0.25%, 119 points at 41,249. We've got the S&P 500 down slightly, 4 points to 5,659. And the NASDAQ with all the tech companies in it is pretty flat there at 17,928, just below the 18,000 mark. With the US dollar index is down 30%, but still over 100 on the index. So, it's strengthened a little bit there over the last couple of days. We've got oil prices. West Texas is up 1.9%, $1.10 at $61. Brent oil at $64, also up $1. That's up 1.7%. We've got gold at up 1% as well, $38 to 3,344, and silver there just under $33, up almost 1% as well, 30 cents. So those are where our commodities are, and we know what have we seen the basic trend. US dollar is kind of weakened since Trump got in and just recovered a little bit the last couple of days. Oil prices have been slashed by about $20 since Trump's got in. Gold has rallied since Trump's gone in, particularly on the back of uncertainty around the tariff strategy. Of course, we all know it's the art of the deal. And so, there we go. And let's get into it. So, Trump said Beijing should open its markets to the US, and that setting 80% tariffs on Chinese goods seems right. Now, remember, it was up at about 145%. So moving down 80%. This is the tactic, right? So you go to 145%, you come back down to 80%, and then you might move to 60 or 50%. That's the tactic there, just to show that you're actually facilitating the discussion and that you want them to make a deal. And of course, we know China has typically not really delivered on their deals, which is it's just the way it goes. But Trump's going to put extra pressure. This is not the same as last time. This is going to be a lot extra pressure here. So it's already paying dividends in the Chinese market there. They've got a number of issues. Now, we all know, and I hate to say this because, we're going to have a very positive show, that China really is geared for war. Their whole economy, the size of the military, and of course, this is, choking them a little bit with this economic trade war. Will have a secondary benefit, really trying to pressure them not to take that move, right? So that is the wild card that we don't want to happen. Of course, the black swan event it's not so black swan, it's kind of a grey swan event. So let's see what happens there. Now, representatives from the two economic powers to meet in Switzerland over the weekend to discuss tariffs. Investors hope it will mark a first step towards ratcheting down the trade war that has sparked concerns over global economic growth and resurgent inflation. That being said, of course, America's going to prosper. So everybody wants to pay to be pretty much feed at the table of America. And so, it's going to be pretty exciting. China's the main focus, and that is the one where the consequences are the largest because of long-term trade practices that really need to be improved. But this is the thing that these people are missing, is that there's actually going to be a diversification of consumer goods from China over to other countries. So it's actually, there's a lot of these deals being made are going to shift a lot of trade to other countries, particularly Southeast Asia. And as you guys know, a lot of the wages have dropped and actually relative to China are more competitive. So, and we're moving into the age of course, automation, AI, and robots, right? So we've got a lot of high-end manufacturing happening without people. And really, you just have to be a good engineer or maintenance guy or girl and to operate those. So, we'll see how that goes. It's still pretty important, though, at the moment in absolute terms. So we'll see how the pressure goes there. But definitely China doesn't want to really weaken their economy because they're already in trouble as well. And they also got military civil issues there between President Xi and the military. So we'll see how that goes as well. So that's kind of the overview of the markets. Let's get into crypto. Crypto at the moment is at 3.37 trillion. Like I say, it's still about a 10x to get up to the gold market cap. And as we know, BlackRock said that, Bitcoin is the new digital gold, and we agree. It is down to 30% today. We got Bitcoin at the moment at $103,000 almost. It's pretty flat on the 24-hour mark. Ethereum there is at number 2,340, is up 7.3%. That actually went even higher, and so that was kind of cool. I think we're at 2,500, something like that. We've got XRP at the moment is at $2.34, up 1.9%. BNB up 7%. A real strong move from BNB there at $658. Boy, and that's pretty exciting. Solana also up 6.4% at $173. We've got Dogecoin there up 5.4% at 20 cents. Cardano or ADA there is up 2.6%, actually at 77 cents. And then number 10, Tron, is up 1.9% at 26 cents. So the best performer has been Ethereum again. And of course, Ethereum had its EIEP upgrades So we're going to see, it's kind of rallied a bit on the back of that too, with the big moves, particularly the last 2 days. So yeah, good times there. Yeah, how quickly was that? Now I did say to you, didn't I say a couple of days ago? I said, Ethereum could get up to $3,000-$4,000 within a month very quickly and turn around. And I think Fat Sammy was out there making similar comments. So not surprised there. Hey, we've got Frank White from Hexco. Hello from Hexco. Big shout out to Frank White. And yeah, awesome stuff there. Hey, look, I think we've got a post that you post out, Frank. So we might talk about that at the end. That's going to be at the end of the show. So big shout out to Frank White. Appreciate support and all the work you're doing out there for the PulseChain community. Eddie Havina in the house there. The pump continues. Woo! Yeah, look, we've got green candles on PulseChain, and that's great news. Trent says, let's go. Absolutely. Hey, look, maybe we'll get a God mode candle coming up. Keep a lookout for that. All right, so let's get into it. That is our top 10. Let's have a look at the best performers in the top 100 over the last 24 hours, the last 7 days. And we've got Pepe Coin, so the meme coin there coming in, 42%. We've got Wrapped ETH there up 27%. We've got Ethereum up 27%. Hopefully it's the same product pretty much. And then we got Wrapped ETH, Staked ETH there up 27%. They're all up the same amount, of course. And then Wrapped ETH there. So they're all dominating because they're all the same. We got Lido Staked ETH as well, up 27%. We've got everything up 27% related to ETH. We've got Kelp Tail, and we've got Rocket Pool as well, up 27%. So there we go. ETH there dominating the list in the top 100, which is hilarious. We've got Binance Peg Wrapped ETH there as well. And then we got, look at this, our good old friend Pi Network is up there. And I know Randy Alasky loves Pi Network. So we're up 74.4 cents, a bit of a rebound here. Now, Pi Network actually is up to number 30 here. And it is ranked, what am I going to say? It's on the 14th of May. They've got some big announcement. I don't know if it's a Binance listing, but it's a big announcement, and maybe around their app store, their dApps that they're doing. So they've got the business to business. You guys know it's really, really terrible. It's not DeFi at all, right? It's basically TradeFi or CFI, and it's got a terrible KYC process. The team is terrible at communicating. It's got lots of problems. I don't want to even get into it, but it's up. It's got a huge community, and so we're going to see whether that's enough, along with their app stores and the other products that they have to actually rally. It seems to be rallying off the bottom, as you can see. When it kind of launched on the 20th of February, it was at $1.84. It's sold off, like a lot of cryptos do, down to 65 cents. Then it rallied all the way up here to $2.93 on the old Pi Network, and 293. That was a big rally. So that was only a week later, and what a recovery that was. And then of course rumors of Binance, and then of course we get to the 14th of March, which was Pi Day, what they call Pi Day, right? If you're into 3.14, etc. And that was on the 14th. So that was whereabouts is that up here? 14th here. So it was $1.67 then. And of course they had Pi Day. People had to get their KYC done for another time to get it extended, and they had to get it in if they wanted to get their tokens or whatever, soon, maybe 4 to 8 weeks later. And then of course we've come all the way down. We bottomed out. The price bottomed out on the 5th of April at 45 cents. So look at that journey. Only in a little while. This is crypto for you. $2.93 on the 27th, and then we went all the way down here on the 5th of April. Oh my God, that's like 5 weeks, and it went from $2.93 to 47. Crypto can be brutal, there, but it's brand new, right? Brand new, and it was at like number 11, I think. When it was up at $2.93, it's like number 11 on the CoinGecko. And look, there's a bit of cheating going on, right? Because of the way the supply is done. They have most of their coins locked, a lot of the reward tokens locked. They have about, I think, 1.7, 1.9 million tokens that are unlocked. That is actually what the market cap should be based on. It's the old Hex thing, right, with the old OA argument. And so, yeah, they've got their complete coins in play, which would, to some degree. Now, so that's kind of, they really shouldn't have the lock coins, but they've got circulating supply there at 7 billion tokens. Now, that, of course, is not true, right? They've only got about 1.9 billion actually circulating. So that would drop their market cap down. It would also shift them down from number 30 way down, right? So I don't know what number it would be, but it would probably, they may not even make the top 100 possibly. I don't know. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, the price at the moment, obviously rallying off a relative bottom, 57 cents up to 74 cents. So it's going to be interesting to watch the journey of this terrible CFI and where it goes. But it's got a big community, and that's kind of the main asset, I think, is that, for the last 7 years, people have been mining this, something like 60 million pioneers. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting. Crypto's full of interesting experiments. And this is one of the two big phone apps, right? The other one was Electronium, which has pretty much been smashed. So that's pretty much it. We're going to have a quick look at Electronium, see where it is. Why don't we do that? That'll be a bit of fun. Anyway, so that is the performance at the moment. Top gainers, Mooding. And let me know in the chat if you guys got any of these. Mooding, it's up 68%. Peanut the Squirrel. Oh my God. Welcome to crypto. Up 81%. And Gosius Maximus. Who makes up these names? I don't know, but it's up 95%. Gosius Maximus. We also got trending Purple Peppy, Doodles, and a Peanut the Squirrel there. That is trending. So there we go. All right, so that is the overall crypto. But let's have a look at Electronium and see how that is getting on. Let me know in the chat if any of you guys actually ended up, mining Pi or Electronium or ETN, as it's called. This is way back from like 2018, 2019, I think, somewhere like 2019, I think. So yeah, it is. Now, this Electronium had a super smart guy from the UK run it, but even smart people can end up botching up whole things. We know that not even it happens a lot. Here we are at 1,600 of a penny, and it's down 5. Or was it up 5%? Yeah, off the bottom. But man, look at that, terrible. Last time it was actually worth something, pretty decent was way back in 2018. There we go. 2018, 2019. And they have a little app store, don't they? They have a little app store. Let's have a quick look at Electronium. Now, I wasn't even going to do this, but we're doing it because it's a bit of fun. So there's their ETN. You earn the ETN, right? And of course, you got the community projects. They've got the ETN app. They've got the AnyTask. So AnyTask is like a work from home. You contract people that work at home, a bit like Fiverr, right? A bit like Fiverr. But man, this thing has just flopped. The guy, I just think he just kept making mistake after mistake, to be honest. Let's have a look at his. Let's have a look at this one here. And it's Electronium there. They got 127,000 followers and all that, but man, it is just not worked, is it? It's not worked. And they're ranked pretty badly there. I don't even know what their last one here. What they got? ETN team is focused massively on delivering real world solutions. They've been saying this propaganda for years, and just not delivered ultimate value, which is derived in the market cap and price, right? That's kind of where it should show there. Obviously, they've done some social good, but really disappointing there. There's a look at the office. New World Immigration there. They're accepting it, but a hashtag fail on that one. Anyway, so it does look like Pi Network is dominating the space on these two phone mining apps. So there we go. Interesting times. All right, so that gives us into Bitcoin on the chart here at the moment. So let's have a look at that. Bitcoin at the moment, as you guys know, that we're playing out. We've called pretty much everything. It's all playing out because we had a look at what Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, was doing, and that gave us all the answers. Right, that was how simple it was. A lot of people just watch. If you watch mainstream media, you'll be absolutely clueless because they're a Democrat propaganda. And so they're going to tell you more lies than a canary or whatever. But here we go. At the moment, Trump's three-legged stool strategy, trade deals, a big tax bill, and deregulation leverage. Now, we saw in the Senate, I think today, them kill down the stablecoin bill because they knew that was a bipartisan bill, apparently, bipartisan. They knew that it was going to make Trump look good and, of course, make the crypto market and digital market very happy. So that was sunk by the Senate Democrats there in the Senate. So it's going to be a bit tougher. Everything's not going to be easy to get through when you've got these people like that. So we'll see. And we've still got a couple of Republicans out there that are still a bit of an issue. But apart from that, I think they're mostly heading in the right direction. Yeah, anyway, so we've got the main stuff here: the trade deal announcements, obviously UK, US, the big tax bill, and deregulation and leverage. And when I say leverage, I'm talking about the margins on the small, medium banks and benefits from them so they can lend to the Midwest and manufacturing, things like that, get the US economy going in the heartland. So that's kind of where we are there. And it's playing out very well. I mean, look at the chart, speaks for itself, right? This green period said it would get a lot of announcements. We've got tons coming, guys. Well, I cannot tell you. Yesterday, of course, President Trump said that if you haven't got stocks, I'm just paraphrasing here in my own words, but if you haven't got stocks, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. So obviously, when he says stocks, we're talking crypto too. and it's game on. So keep a lookout for this. And we are also in the phase of this hyper bull market as well. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, if you haven't seen this little video, I'm going to play this now because I think it's kind of timely. So let's play this. I played this yesterday, I think, but let's check it out.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, "Is it over?" And you'll definitely be sure it's over. And everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Not a mystery.
Right,
it is a repeat of the debt.
That is that video about bananas. That's ahead of us, guys. Honestly, you can see already in the chart. So if you match in Trump's strategy, which is playing out extremely well. I mean, there's not going to be nothing's ever 100%, but it's going very well indeed. And we're going to get tons of trade deals done, right? So we had UK, we're going to get Japan, South Korea, lots of the top countries. There'll be bit more tricky ones in Europe, things like that. But I think it's going to be pretty exciting where we head here. And so we just got a very bullish time, plus the banana charts that we're expecting there as well. So that's kind of where we are, and then we're going to enter the golden age by the pretty much the 4th of July. That's going to be in place. This whole strategy has to be in place. It's the foundation if you think about it, and then it's all about building. And of course, Trump's already up to $8 trillion with capital investments, an astounding number, and that's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Remember, the U.S. economy is $27 trillion a year, so that's a big deal. Getting $8 trillion already in investment, and a lot of it's going into high tech, high value added, GDP growth potential. So it's going to be pretty exciting. All right, so that's kind of where we are at the moment on the old Bitcoin, looking pretty good at 103,000. And of course, yesterday we got up to how long? We got up to 104,352 yesterday, and we started a brand new candle there. Now we got some other big news around Coinbase. Coinbase at the moment is got a 2.9 billion terabyte buy, and that's unleashed 24/7 trading in the United States with regulated BTC and ETH futures. These sort of increments these are kind of adding expanding the reach into the retail and institutional book and business book actually for crypto in the Coinbase. So really cool stuff. This is regulated as well, so should not face any troubles. So Coinbase derivatives now allows round-the-clock trading of Bitcoin and Ethereum futures contracts, becoming the first exchange under the CFTC oversight. The futures contracts are cleared through Nodal Clear and launched in partnership with top financial firms, including Virtual Financial, ABN AMRO, and Wedbush. The launch allows Coinbase 2.9 billion deribit acquisition and indicates its push to introduce US-regulated perpetual futures domestically and globally. So this is a really big announcement, I think, and so that is very exciting for where we're heading in the old crypto. It's just going to be, we're going to get more of this sort of institutional, general on-ramping into crypto with a spot and futures and other derivatives coming up there. It's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, no market hours, no waiting, no missed opportunities. This is just the beginning. So really is exciting, guys, honestly. And we also know that a lot of the centralized exchanges are also moving into stocks as well. So we're moving. Basically, the crypto dexes are starting to take over, traditional stock market and other products like bonds and things like that. So it is going to be domination, and under Trump's leadership with the digital strategy, it's game on. So really good news, folks. We're all here at the right time, right place. We've paid the price if you've been around for a while, and it's now on to glory. Honestly, it's looking very exciting. That's going to lead us into PulseChain. Don't forget to get in the comments as well. We've got the Amish kid in the house there. Good work, mate. I appreciate the Amish. Big shout out to you. And so let's get into it. We got day 729 here. We got the price of Pulse at quadruple 0353, up 9 and a quarter percent there. So it's pretty good. So looking pretty good there, or 9 and the third percent. Sitting at 35% of the mean sacrifice price is still pretty cheap, right? But we're about to leave the cheap zone, right? We're kind of at the top end. Once we get back to 50%, we kind of 50% discount. It's pretty awesome. But then once we start moving past that, it's going to be pretty crazy. Remember, the liquidity has been thinned out by the reduction of incentive token and of course the farms. And so we could see God mode candle coming up there. And of course, Richard Hart mentioned that in his video. I'm going to talk about that later. We got PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0318, up 15%. A big move on PulseX there. The buy and burn is now at 7.1% of all PulseX is being bought up and burned. And of course, incentive token there, $1.64, is at up 10%. And that is, we know the inflation's been cut by 20x. The farm's liquidity has dropped dramatically, hundreds of millions. And we've got a chance to really pump this thing. So, 2,800 ink a day is basically nothing in addition to the 55 million or so. So pretty awesome. Hex at the moment, 85/100th of a penny, up 25%. Woohoo! I've got to give that a magical candle. I think we've got to do that. 25%. So it's getting back into the old. It's getting back into the old days of nice pumps, and what we want to see is this like 25-40% days, 7 days in a row kind of thing, moving us up to a couple X's. That's kind of what we're looking forward to. Game on. It really is a nice little teaser there. We've got EHEX at the moment, 29/100th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is now at 1.1 cents. So we've blown past the 1 cent mark here. And how high will this get to? As you guys know, on EHEX, we've got dip catcher with the FlexHex product, second layer protocol on Ethereum. And of course, EHEX is going to be used as the gas fee there. I think that's pretty exciting. They have a lot of innovation on that. And then, of course, we've got Richard Hart back leadership again. And, who knows what could happen there with the thinner liquidity on the way up. And, of course, all the community has to do, generally speaking, is hodl and buy more, I guess, is the way to go, rather than sell and degen all over the place. But, the market will do what the market's going to do. That's just the way it goes. But that's kind of where we are at that moment. Looking at the gas prices, we're sitting at 4.2 million beats, so a bit higher than what we've been the last week. But, prices are rallying. We're up 5 cents for a swap at the moment. Validators, 45,000 validators. It's been pretty much the same for 4 or 5 days at least. And in the bridge there, we're sitting at, oh, wow, look at a big jump in the bridge, guys. Isn't that awesome? That is fantastic. Almost $95 million on the bridge. That's fantastic there. What were we sitting yesterday? I think it was 88.6. I think it was 88.6. So let's see, what's that? 1.5, 5, 6, 7, probably $7 or $8 million increase there. Isn't that fantastic? Of course, we had a big move in EHEX there. Obviously, Wrap Bitcoin and Ethereum up pretty bigly as well. And it looks like our DAI's gone up about 800K as well. So we've got a lot more DAI. That's good news, right? Having more DAI come over. Now, there was a big transfer a couple hours ago. I think about 5 or 6 hours ago of a couple 100,000, 300,000 or something came over the bridge. So that was pretty cool. And Coast, I am expecting a bit of a jump in Coast coming up. And we're going to be talking about Coast today since we're talking about on-ramping, right? So we're getting into that. So that's good news there. Let's look at the market volume. Well, yesterday we did about 22 million. We're at 26.4 million today. So we're definitely up quite nicely there. Transactions, we're doing about 340,000 yesterday. We're at 410 today. So we're up for probably another 60, 70,000 transactions on yesterday. Looking at some of the top movers here, we've got this new token called Pulse Golden Ticket. That's up it's at 17 hours. It's up 1,641%. See if that's got any interesting things about it. Any description there? Have you got a golden ticket out of the trailer park this cycle yet? Trailer park drama and shenanigan updates. So, that's launched and it's ticking away there. Liquidity 57K, not too bad. Now, I'm not endorsing anything. Of course, we get new tokens every day, so just remember that. We're just commenting on it. Now, the big move we've seen is James Maria, right? Looks like he's on the deck there. Now, I did an interview with XUSD team yesterday. I thought it was really fun. They've got a pretty one of the more complex protocols on PulseChain with their Vibratile XUSD stablecoin. We call it a stablecoin, but really it's just a Vibratile. In other words, they're targeting $1. But of course, they have incentives and burns and inflation mechanisms to push that up over time. And we had them in the house. Now, Atropa, of course, is up 62% there. Pretty strong move there. So it does look like James Maria has come back in with his capital that he took. And when we had the big PDI drama because of the exploit, right, Mr. Dong and all that. So this is kind of big move there. And of course, Teddy Bear OG has moved up as well, right? Those are both James Maria ones there, and they're up leading the way today. Tropa up 62% and Teddy Bear up 45%. We also got obviously Hex rallying, right? So Diehard is not Diehard, that's a PDI, but we've got the Diehard moving up as well. We got Love.io. Now we had Andreas from the XUSD team there, the marketing promotions from Love.io there. He was in the live stream yesterday. We'll probably try and get an interview with him coming up. So that's up as well, 54%. Some big moves there. Now we do have some of the printers. So we've got Dominance from OG WebChef. That is up 38% there as well. Nice to see that. XUSD, which we talked about yesterday on the show, is sitting at number 13. That is up 33% as well. 33%. So a big move there from the XUSD team on recovery. What else we got going there? We've got Jupiter up 27%. Hex, of course, up 24% at the moment. So really doing well there. Big shout out to the Hex community. And obviously Staked ETH, of course, following the Ethereum move that we saw on CoinGecko, up 24%. ALGO based its leverage on Hex, right? So Hex is up 23%. ALGO is up 23% there. PMX 500's been around for a month now. That's up 22%. Bitcoin there, another, I think, Pump Tires as well. There's a Pump Tires up 90% there. And of course, X there over 6 months is up 18%. What else? PDC, the Greys, doing some great stuff online, aren't they? The PDC, the Greys team. They redid their artwork. They've got, quite good influencer support. And I would say multiple, in particular, Prairie Banana, but there are other, people on YouTube and stuff talking about PDC, the Greys. So one of the big communities that's up doing pretty well, up 17%. Sparta is kind of a new entry into the place, but it's been doing pretty well also. That is up at 10 cents, up 15%. UFO, of course, related to PDC. That's kind of the what do I call it, the father son or the grandfather son, you decide. But that is UFO doing well, up 15%. And then we had the printers. We had from OG WebChef. We had Dominance up at number 13, but we've also got Beast is starting to move back up here. And of course, that had quite the sell-off. But people are earning some yield. I don't know what it is at the moment, maybe 8%. Beast is $1.18 at the moment, up 15%. Incognito up 15% there. Lady Gaga at number 37 is up 14%. What else? PulseX, of course, up 14%. So, doing pretty good with the double-digit growth. It's nice to see some green candles, isn't it, on PulseChain? We had that brutal sell-off, a month ago or something. It's nice to see the turnaround here and looking pretty good there. Now, we have this other ecosystem. So we talk about James Maria, but we've got this other one called this Mona Lisa one that seems to be related to Teddy Bear Takeover, kind of the new Teddy, right? Teddy Bear Takeover. And we've got Thaler there up at 12% there. Another Pump Tires Doubt token up 11.7%. And then getting into another big whale, right? Fire Whale. And of course, as you guys know, we're a big supporter of Fire Whale and the X game coming up. While Solid X is sitting up here. What a rally. What a comeback. This was down at $7 or so. It is now up at $11 at up 11%. And I'm expecting some big things for the Firewall ecosystem. Not just because it's a big whale backing, which by itself is a pretty good justification, but because they are building that big DeFi casino. And I really like where they're heading with it. And obviously, we're backing the X game ourselves. We've got the first dedicated Telegram group for X game. And you can get all the information in there with all the news flows, all the prices, and we're going to have all the gameplay. It's going to be pretty cool strategies and everything else. We've got AI agents and all that good stuff in there. So you definitely want to join up to that. We're going to talk about that later on. So that's looking pretty good there. What at APC? We've got Apine Pulse up 9%. So we've got lots of ones moving. BBC token. Now, I did say to you, as we get this uptrend, right, we're going to see these DEX coins probably start to re-rate. And maybe even some of the classic DeFi, like liquidity forks and stuff like that, the Power City liquid loans, but particularly the DEXs, right, and the DEX aggregators. they will start probably re-rating in value. And because everything that's trading on them is re-rating in value, right? So they're getting more fees and more volume. And so, yeah, expect we might see that trend play out just like we normally do in bull market cycles. So, yeah, we've got 9mm moving up there. Best everything, number 62 there. Well, Ink actually $1.63. What a comeback for Ink token, eh? I mean, it was right down at $1.19 just the other day. Now it's up at $1.63. This thing can move, man. It can move, and it's not as big as X today, but still, it's the turnaround's pretty amazing on the old X there. Obviously, Pulse is moving up in price, right? Same Pulse X, but man, that is pretty awesome. Now we got best everything, another pump tires up 7% there. Pulse Puppy up 7%. Up X token is based on the PulseX price, right? So there's up 7% as well. Trump pump tires is up 7%. 9-inch, of course, we talked about the DEX moving up. So the DEX is moving up, not just the incentive token. BBC is the incentive token. It's up 7% there. And time dividend's up 7%. Pretty much our top native, top native. I could say top native. We've probably got 2 native wallets. Top native wallet there up 6.7. We actually got a few more than that, but there's the top one there at 6.7. We got loan token from Liquid Loans. Like I said, we might see these classic, liquidity forks move up as well in time. They probably lag a little bit and then suddenly go. That's probably what will happen there. Now, we also got influencer coins, and we haven't been talking too much about those because they haven't really been top of the pop there lately. But Note token from Randy Alasky, and of course, he's friends with Firewell and the Solid X crew. That is up 5.7%. So we have got an influencer coin there doing pretty well. And I suspect that a couple of those will probably do pretty well moving forward, and others maybe, lagging behind. Cumin on there is up 5%. Phoenix as well, Most Wanted, another pump tires. And Frank, of course, is related to the second ecosystem, like the James Maria one, with the Mona Lisa one there. Frank there is up 5%. So not too bad there. We've got Alien token there from the King. He's in the house today. He's in the chat there. So big shout out to him. And 9mm, of course, another one. The second biggest DEX here on Dex Screener is also up 3.4%. But keep a lookout for those DEXs. Could be doing something special there. Now, of course, we've got one of the best devs in the world, probably arguably the best peer-to-peer dev, Jacob. He's building out his 3 protocols, right? Mafia, on-chain bet, and of course, my favorite, the flagship PUSD ALGO, and that's up 3.4% on the Mafia at the moment. So we'll keep a track of that as well. We've got Conspiracy there, up 2.3%. Pump Tires, the main one there, not really moving today, interestingly enough, but maybe a good buy, right? Has moved quite well over the last wee while. It's at 1.4 cents. That's at 1.6%. GoPulse, of course, which is quite controversial. That is sitting at 9,600 of a penny. That is up 1% there. And, of course, a Missile there, another of the printer tokens, is up 1%. Dominance, another printer token from OG WebChef, up 0.75%. Finvesta, of course, is the main parent. It's kind of the grandfather of the OG WebChef. That is up 1% there. And Soul Sunny Minimal. Now, this is just under 7 cents at the moment. It's kind of just tapered off the last sort of 48 hours or so because the Banxa on-ramp, and we're going to talk about that coming up, is just finishing its little technical bugs to launch properly. But that is something we're going to be following now. And of course, we've got Dai there, the pump tires version of Dai. That is pretty flat. So that's kind of it where we are at the moment. We've got a couple of negatives, of course. You can see those. X Game just down a little bit there. Teddy Takeover, of course, down a little bit there because everything is flooding into James Maria's Teddy Bear up here, right? So Teddy Takeover just tapering off a little bit there at the moment, but we're going to be talking about that too because we're going to be talking about Moon King today. Gas Money, another printer token. Top Hat, of course. We had an interview with Crypto Coffee the other day. What a great guy, and really enjoyed that. So that is tip top there. That's down 7% today. But keep a lookout for that because I think, influencer tokens like Randy Alasky's, Access Alive, probably Dip Catches one, and, Crypto Coffee, some of the bigger influencers could do pretty well in this bull market. Once again, experiment and all that sort of stuff. But we'll see how that goes. They kind of, I think, on the most part, sort of meme coins, although I think, like Randy Alasky, he can add probably a lot extra value to that. And no doubt that is the play. So it's kind of where we're at the moment. There's the Mona Lisa one there. We talked about the parent of that ecosystem with this new one tied into Teddy Takeover. And that is Mona Lisa there, down 9.6% at the moment. And then we've got Printers, Remember, and Savant, and Missile at the bottom there in the top 100. Wow, we went through the whole lot. How about that? Yesterday, I think we did the top 50, but today we did the whole lot there. Now, we got Larry O in the house there. Yo, yo, yo. Good to see you, Larry O. That's a kind of rhyming name. Pretty cool. So that is where we are on the markets. let's get into have a quick look. I want to have a look at this is Pulse coin list, right? And I mentioned this on the show yesterday to Nikki, who was on the show from XUSD team. He was talking about if we had a site, we had all the stuff. Well, this is the site I was talking about. Pulse coin list is probably the closest to the vision that he had about having all the ecosystem, all the tokens and stuff like that. And Pulse coin list has done a great job with this. Definitely one of our top three or four information sites on PulseChain. And you can see a lot of different tickers on here. Now, I noticed at the moment we got the DAI stable forked at the moment is sitting at 1,400 of a penny. So that's been up 75% this week, 57% in the last 24 hours for the old PDAI fork there. And of course, the XUS team with Katie there were the ones that ended, and surfacing, of course, ended there using a spell to end the printing and exploit on PDAI Maker, which has actually helped to get us ready for the rally on PulseChain, right? And the timing is pretty conspicuous. Is that a good way? But yeah, this is where we are at the moment. So big pump there in the old PDAI network there. Now it's kind of got a fixed supply, right? I think it's at 44 billion, something like that. So yeah, let's see where that all goes. It looks like it's pretty bullish. It's got one of the biggest communities and most engaged communities on PulseChain. I'm thinking of PDC. I'm thinking of PDAI. There's a couple of top communities out there, and they're definitely one of them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see all that play out. Of course, that also includes Wrap Bitcoin, which is at $374 at the moment. Some really interesting ones are ticking off there on the old list here on Pulse coin list at the moment. So kind of cool there. Now we're going to get into the PulseChain news, and this is where the alpha really starts to drop, because we got bullish PulseChain onboarding. We're going to be talking about big money and promotions, and we're going to talk about Coast, Banxa, and RampNow. I don't know how many of you have heard from RampNow, but that's new news. So that's a drop in the alpha today. As you guys know, I like to drop a bit of that every day, but there we go. Let's get into it. Let's start it, and let's get into the chat. If you want to talk about any of these things, let us know. Now, Hex Scout, which is the big, portfolio management for Hex, put this out. So they got breaking. The PulseChain party isn't stopping. Market access continues to expand, and this is so critical. You want your bags pumped. You want capital. You want more people. This is what it's all about. This is going to fuel the takeoff, and this is massive, right? So market access continues to expand. The next gateway, direct gateway to PulseChain, supporting over 160 currencies, is about to launch. All right. So the next direct gateway to PulseChain, supporting the 160 fiat currencies, is about to launch. Now, we obviously have the official PulseChain bridge, which works fine, but it has lags, and it can be turned off when the GUI gets too high. It gets clogged up sometimes under a lot of either buy pressure or sell pressure. So it's got that issue, but now we've got we're going to have banks are coming up, of course, and a lot of other on ramps. So this is a really big deal. So Sun Mini Meal currently finalizing the last technical details with Banxa. Press release and update coming soon. So keep a lookout for that. That is coming from Sun Mini Meal. Has secured another direct fiat on ramp for PulseChain community. So this is from Sun Mini Meal, doing an amazing job. This is the big food corporate with the superfood in Europe. That is going global, and they are bringing on one after another of these big on-ramps of PulseChain at the right time, at the right place. And this is one of the things that Richard Hart wanted, right, the community to get onto, and we're getting this from Sunny Manuel. Now, we've got RampNow, of course, is on the verge this week. So we've got a new platform of officially launching in the EU markets, the European Union, and will offer a seamless fiat to PulseChain service with a flat fee of just 1.3%. So that's huge, right? So it's coming up there, no hidden costs. And that is coming up. So we've got another on-ramp coming direct to PulseChain. This is huge news. So this is what we want to see, and very exciting. So once again, the Sun has ensured that PulseX liquidity is directly integrated. So they're using PulseX there, and has and as a top-performing swap engine, Batias is also connected via API for optimal rates. Of course, Batias is our top DEX aggregator. I think it dominates like maybe 60 to 75%, somewhere in that ballpark, of the volumes. If it's understand rightly, they normally publish every so often a number of volumes. The best news for anybody looking for the simplest path to PulseChain and not waiting to swap via the sold token is, unlike Banxa, RampNow was willing to integrate not only Sol token but PulseChain as a whole. So we've got a much broader offering there. As a whole, meaning Pulse and some other tokens will be directly purchasable. So that's really, really awesome news. More details and the official launch announcement will follow soon. But just remember the difference between Soil there is that the company profits from Sun Mini or 20% of the revenue, is coming over to burn the token on Soar. So it's a very different dynamic. And with the on-ramp on as well, new people, and of course they're having their own wallet for their customers as well. So I really love that model. I think that's pretty exciting because it's going to grow. Sun Mini will burn off as the company grows the revenue and the customers, and of course onboarding a whole ton of no coiners. Very exciting there too, making it all simple for them. They don't have to learn everything about DeFi. It's more of a classic investment. And then of course we've got RampNow also coming into the mix, which is very exciting. By the way, and this is the real stuff. So if you haven't heard about this is just hot off the press. Massive thanks to Sun Mini for the extraordinary commitment to driving PulseChain adoption forward in such a meaningful way. So we're talking about mass onboarding, mass amount of capital, new capital coming in at the right time, right place. This is fantastic stuff. By the way, of course, on ramps number 3 and number 4 are coming. So I just announced the ramp now. And that's coming, right? So let's go check out the website for RampNow. That's the website there, RampNow at the moment. And now we're going to have also on ramps number 3 and 4 coming. So we got the Banxa one, which is pretty big. There was Sun Mini Meal, and then we've got the RampNow, and now we're going to have number 3 and 4 all coming through from Sun Mini Meal, are already in the works at Sun AG. This big European food corporate is really crushing it here on PulseChain. Ramp number 3 is expected later this May. That's awesome. Ramp number 4 could be a top tier breakthrough for PulseChain in Q3 later this year if current negotiations succeed. Woo! Hot dog. So PulseChain for the win. We love you. So there we go. That is from the Hex Scout there, and I think that's awesome repost there. Super exciting news. Covered it on a live stream. That is awesome. A live show. Let's just say live show. And that is awesome. Go PulseChain. Go. What are we going to say? PulseChain. So really exciting, guy. I mean, this is what we really want to have, and the right time in the market cycle too. I mean, it's a big deal. So awesome stuff there. I'm going to post that link to this in the chat there if you guys want to make a comment or share around. That is the link there to the Hex Scout post there, covering all these on-ramps coming to PulseChain. This is a big deal because we only had the official on-ramp, and then we would have to use some on-chain to on-chain swap service which may or may not be running, may or may not have a good rate. And now we're getting one on-ramp after another on-ramp coming to PulseChain. So, we had Coast and we had the official bridge. Those were kind of the two that we had to get directly onto PulseChain. And then we had some on-chain to on-chains like, Swap Now, Change Now, Swap Space, that kind of technology. Of course, Pulse LM, which is amazing. But, that was not always turned on. Liquidity was, subject to liquidity, things like that. But it's super fast. It's like lightning fast. You basically get it almost instantly. And now we've got these on-ramps coming. This is big. And to Europe too. And a whole ton of new. I mean, it's really exciting stuff. And looking forward to that. And it's leveraged off of existing business with Sunnymail, so it's kind of cool. Now, Peter says here, we can personally vouch for the hard work and dedication of the Hex Scout team. We discussed PulseChain almost every day, constantly exploring new ideas to move forward. And of course, so we just wanted to publicly congratulate you guys here as well. And of course, Hex Scout here says, that's very kind. Appreciate you as a team. We all get together of living proof that when people act as a community, great things can be achieved with PulseChain. We're truly grateful to you as always, being competent and selfless advisors. It's clear that you share our values and are committed to help driving the PulseChain success forward. So, we've got some of these top teams really doing some amazing stuff there. Very cool. All right, so kind of neat there. And we got KG asking some questions there from Internet Money Wallet. Very nice there. The best news for anyone looking forward to the simplest path to PulseChain and not wanting to swap into via Soul token, unlike Banxa, RampNow was willing to integrate, of course, the Soul, not only Soul, but PulseChain tokens as well. And you can see a bit of a picture there of that, so which is pretty neat there. Oh, you can see the picture. No need to open it up, but that is it. That is big news. So awesome stuff there. Now, Sun Mini Meal, of course, is progressing with Banxa to get that over the line with just the technical upgrades. They had a few little hiccups just to get that all working, and I think it's going to be pretty close there. They thought they might be able to do it in like 2 days, but obviously it takes a few more days extra. And so we're keeping an eye on Sun Mini Meal there as well. So that's kind of the play. Now, the other big on-ramp, of course, I talked about the official PulseChain official, but we've obviously got Coast doing a great job. $9.6 million has come over in capital to PulseChain. and it is a direct fiat on-ramp right now. They've expanded their services, right? They were USD, they've expanded to euros, and it's been pretty exciting from the team, right? And have also expanded their banking setup so they can get support even faster, and that is pretty awesome there. Yeah, I mean, Crypto Coffee says here, big update, PulseChain, Canada, UK, EU can now buy PulseX, and Inc. directly from their bank account. It really is exciting of the expansion here. Need to cash out? Coast lets you off-ramp stablecoins from PulseChain back to USD and redeem Coast or other stables $1 for $1 quickly and cleanly. Use crypto pay for real-world expenses. So it really has that two-way flow as well. And so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, Mint Coast there. Lots of cool stuff there. Get your money into bank PulseChain faster than ever. Local bank transfer is now available at Coast for Europe, Canada, and UK. Big news for the UK there. Deposit directly with GBP, so Great British Pounds, and you can get onto Coast and on PulseChain directly. So if the bridge is down or clogged or something, that's a way for you to get onto the chain, right? Very, very fast. So really, really cool. They got tons of news there for the old Coast team. I'm going to leave a link to that as well. You can check out Coast as well on that one. I don't know if Brian's watching, but he's probably on the road. You can definitely check out. Brian might post his link to there, and you get 5,000 free weight tokens if you use it. So there we go. If Brian's packed up, he's on a road trip at the moment, but if he's packed up, that may be something you can post there. All right, so that's from Coast. So exciting. We've got 4 on-ramps coming via Hex Scout, Sunny Minimeal. We've got these coming up. It's all exciting, guys. And this is all going to flow out over the year. We've got another one expected this month, so we could have 3 this month. Is that insane? And of course, we had we didn't have really any other than the official bridge and Coast as a direct on-ramp. We had a couple of on-chain ones, but now it's this is pretty exciting. So things are really ramping up. More people, more capital, and of course higher prices on crypto. Generally speaking, it's going to be pretty awesome there. All right, so that's kind of cool from Coast. Now we're going to shift our gears a little bit here. So we're moving away a bit from onboarding and big money to promotions, because that's the other way, of course, of creating more value, is attracting a lot of people either in crypto or no coiners into crypto. And of course, we had Richard Hart doing his video the other day, which was a huge turnaround for PulseChain. And the timing is this, that when you think about everything else going on, which is bullish, is such a perfect time. It just seems almost like it was meant to be. It was pretty crazy. And of course, beating the SEC now makes PulseChain particularly more valuable intrinsically than other chains and stuff, because it's got that legal defense. It's pretty exciting. So hello PulseChain, PulseX, Hex, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and free speech. I won for all of us. And of course, if you haven't checked out that video, I have posted it on YouTube. And of course, you can watch that. It's pretty awesome. I did a reaction video as well. But he talked a big part of it about, hey, community, stop selling, maybe hodl and buy more. And then, of course, get out and promote. People, if you can have the greatest product in the world, but if people aren't hearing about it, then it is what it is, right? This is reality. You got to get out and promote and marketing. And that is where Richard's at. And of course, the community is moving forward. The other thing, of course, is we need to be more positive. People out there, I know a lot of things have happened, Black Swan events, Grey Swan events, and this and that. But I think it's time just to forget all that and really move on to be positive and as much as you can, right? So that's kind of the thing. And let's get this positivity out in the promotions. I think that's really a key message there. Now, following this message, of course, and before this message, was Rack and Michelle, our biggest whale, a venture capitalist, of course, the number one PulseChain and PulseX sacrificer, and he has been ramping up his moves, right? So more investments into tokens on PulseChain. We've gone through that on live streams. Also, he's moved in promotions, right? And also social media, right? So he's really doing a lot. He's hitting up central exchanges, trying to get listings. He's hitting up big influencers, trying to get them to cover PulseChain. So he is doing a lot of stuff to try and ramp up PulseChain with promotions. Very, very exciting. So, he's got a think tank he's going to be doing too. He's going to be doing a retreat with a bunch of, PulseChain, people that can add some insights, a bit like KG from Internet Money and other people. And so that's going to be pretty exciting. He's hosting, I think it's going to be Florida with 12 people for a 3-day retreat in July or August. So really going to be looking to find a lot of cool ideas there. So really, really cool stuff happening there. He's obviously still dealing, it seems, with the Highest of Stakes film crew, and possibly we could get a lot of that maybe on Netflix and other things like that. We'll see where all that's leading. So pretty cool. He's definitely got a lot of cool stuff there. Yeah, he's mixing Mingya with Mr. Colin Noor there as well. He's got over 500,000, 555,060. It's almost a 555, which is pretty funny. And of course, he's been trying to hit him up as well. It's around Second Amendment, guns and things, but we'll see. I don't think Richard Hart's too much in the guns, but yeah. We got obviously cool stuff happening with Rack and Michelle here. So just so everyone's clear, PulseChain is an elite layer 1. So he's really highlighting the fact now, because of winning the SEC case, that the blockchain has a clear mandate, and that's PulseChain, right? Because it's won in the courts, whereas no one else has had that. No one's been under the fire. And Richard Hart, it's one of the big benefits coming out of the victory. And of course, expand its victory. We're one of the only networks that the general public can take comfort in knowing that the founder code and legal standing were vetted rigorously by the federal government and the SEC. 90% of the tokens they are listed on the various crypto exchanges actually cannot claim that at all. They have to go through the fire. I just said that. I didn't even read this, but I just said fire alone and earn it. PulseChain is now the new standard, and we earned it. The exchanges have an ethical responsibility to vet all those other tokens and companies. I'd like to think the exchanges would race to add PulseChain to show solidarity. All this added addition here, original audits as well, which Richard won, as you guys know. Pretty awesome. Hey, a big shout out. We got Tortoise Johnny in house there. We waited for so long, and a big shout out there. Tortoise Johnny just became a member. I appreciate that, Tortoise Johnny. Thank you so much for the support, and has been a long time supporter as well. So big shout out to Tortoise Johnny there. I think that deserves a bit of a clap there. So yeah, put on there. Nice one there. All right, we got Magic Cup Ride in the house as well. What's up, Pete? Big shout out to Magic Cup Ride team. They've built a number of cool protocols. If you haven't checked them out, check them out as well. And of course, they're also streamers, influencers as well in their own right. Although they're probably shy on that, but they do a great job. So big shout out there, Magic Cup Ride as well. TJ in the house with the old shades, and the fist pump there. Nice. All right, a big shout out there, TJ. All right, so yeah, looking pretty bullish here from Rack and Michelle. Really preaching the word out here. Kind of cool. So that is neat there from Rack and Michelle. He's doing a lot of stuff on a lot of different fronts and promoting, right? So if the one thing, everybody can do it. You can do it just by telling somebody else. That's a network effect of promoting. You can, get out and deliver mail, whatever you decide, you can get out and do. Whatever you're comfortable with, you can get out and do. And this is, some of the different initiatives that the Rack and Michelle, our biggest whale, is doing, right? So pretty exciting about that. Now, he also put this out here. I think we all know what's coming, and that's basically the floodgates on PulseChain are about to open up, right? So that is kind of the theme there. Pretty exciting stuff happening there. All right, so that's from Rack and Michelle, our biggest whale, leading the way there. We also know that Firewhale is leading the way with the old decentralized casino X game, which we're supporting. It is going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get excited. That's all I can say. So yeah, just shed all the troubled times that we've had. It is really time. Things are turning. You guys can see it. And we got all the players back on the field. They're all coming back. We've got Dream Out Crypto coming back. Other influencers coming back. Rack and Michelle coming back. All sorts of people. It's game on now, right? Game on. Get your game on hat on. Get your game on hat. We got Alex in the house there. Superman still here working hard despite all the crazy up and downs and longest bear market. Shout out to you, sir. I appreciate that, Alex. Yeah, hey, look, it doesn't matter. I said this a joke that, there could be a storm going on and I'd still be here streaming about PulseChain. It doesn't matter what the conditions are. Yeah, been here every day pretty much, haven't I? Through the bear market every day. I covered all the stuff in the bear market. And a big shout out, because the people that were really helping PulseChain in the bear market were who? Alex McFurter with Icosa Hedron and, a dip catcher in Goldkey, right? With the old Maximus products. You think about it, if you took those out, there wasn't going to be a lot happening because we had the SEC hanging over our heads and we had a lot of, whales exiting, from the sacrifice. And those two crews really did an amazing job. I mean, there were others, of course, but they were really the ones that ate up like 2 billion X, for goodness sake. That was a huge deal there. So big shout out to those guys as well. Now, what else have we got? PulseChainers, yo, says Next. A big shout out to Next, doing some great work out there too. We appreciate everything you do, Next, as well. If you're on Telegram, you'll know what I mean there. Next does some great work. So big shout out for that. Kryptonite fam is building up, new era on PulseChain. It's on the way. I like that. That's so true. And, it's what I'm laying out on this live stream, right? Is just some of the things. And I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. Have you noticed? Been covering all the different categories, all the different DeFis, all the GameFis, things like that. Now, I'm going to go back and do a revisit of NFTs, actually, because there's not a lot happening in that space. but I do want to go back through all the NFT markets and maybe anything that's actually doing some volume. But I think that's probably something that's going to pick up later on when the markets really start, getting into FOMO there. We do see a few other variations, like the Vibe Pass and other passes that are people using NFTs for. And I think that's actually a really good way forward with some of those NFTs. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Alex says it's clearly showed who is here for the long term and who is here for the quick buck and his own coin. That's right, Alex here. But you guys know I love crypto and I love PulseChain, and I've been a big follower of Richard Hart for years, and I know many of you have as well. So we're just sharing the journey together, really. It's going to be pretty fun. All right, that's a bit of magic there. I don't know. I got to use a few of the sound effects because they're sitting here waiting. So this is the way it goes. All right, so we got Ratsrack and Michelle leading the way with promotions. Now I want to do a big shout out on Telegram. Now, if you guys aren't on Telegram, it's kind of its own big world, right? And you guys know I only recently got back onto Telegram. I was on there many years ago, and I'm back on there. Been back on there for only not that long actually. Maybe 2 months, is it? Not even that, 6 weeks. Back on Telegram. It's a different world, and I've had to relearn the ropes a little bit. I want to do a big shout out to DeFi Prince Royal Lounge. He's got a Telegram group, and he's very supportive of PulseChain and DeFi on there as well. I'm not sure if he's watching today, but big shout out DeFi Prince for what you guys do. Now, if you guys want to join his DeFi group on Telegram, you can follow him here. So big shout out here to him. Now, I realize I didn't paste Rack and Michelle, but I think you guys know where he is. You can find Rack and Michelle there. That is kind of cool. Big shout out here. We're doing a few shout outs today. I said we were Magic Carp Ride. What's that? What is that thing? Is that a magical wand? Nice one there, Magic Carp Ride. All right. Next says, especially when it is PulseChain magic made by Kryptonite. That is true. All right. So that is DeFi Prince. Royal Lands, definitely check out. He's very supportive, as I said. Pushing out a lot of cool stuff there. So big shout out there to DeFi Royal Lounge. All right, so that brings us up to the PulseTube. Now we're talking about promotions, right? We've moved from the onboarding. We're talking about promotions. We kicked it off with Richard Hart, then Rack and Michelle, then the DeFi Lounge there, and now DeFi Royal Lounge, and now we're getting into PulseTube. PulseTube has a site which has all the PulseChain influencers on it. I don't know, 150. I don't know, give or take 150 plus or minus 50. It's a big range, but it's a bit like saying, what's 100 plus or minus 1,000. It feels like saying that, but anyway, 150 plus or minus 50 influencers there, maybe more, who knows? But there's a lot of small ones, right? A lot of small ones. There's not as many big ones, so there may be 20 over 10,000, something like that, maybe. No, it depends on who you're going to add in. They've got to be like pure PulseChain potentially, or at least 90% or something. That's kind of where we are. And the PulseTube does a wonderful job, right? They're doing their website 2.0, and new websites coming through soon, and I'm excited about it. And a big move here, of course, it's going to be multi-chain, and this is going to reach a lot of people, right? Because it really is a great site. You can see here on the little video here, it's got a little video. Hey, you can even see the Kryptonite show right in the middle there. Which is kind of cool. Normally the bubble was real small, but it seems to have got bigger. So there we go. And this is just part of what's going to come up here with the site. So I'm very excited about this. And it's going to be multi-chain as well, which means it's going to have a lot of influencers on there from, it's going to extend the reach of PulseChain influencers to multi-chain. And I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be the go-to place if you want to find influencer coverage. They do daily shows, so if you want to find out who's streamed the last 24 hours, well, I have all the influencers coming through in the last 24 hours that streamed. And as you guys know, I'll be on there because I'm streaming every day. There we go. So that is kind of coming up for the PulseTube. Big shout out to him, and does a great job, and looking forward to 2.0 on multiple chains. It's going to be pretty cool. It's got lots of other benefits there too, and we did go through that the other day. So big shout out to the PulseTube. Looking forward to that website. That's coming. Big promotions. I think that's going to be pretty important, stable. But like Coin Pulse List, but with the influences there. Now the other one, of course, I mentioned earlier was Alex McFerder. Of course, Icozy Hedron, and we were looking for 2.0, but then he posted this out here on the 10th of May, Sigma Protocol. So I'm not sure quite what he's alluding to, but Max here says, "Let's go." Crypto Coffee says, "Following." When Alex when. So this is looks like probably will be his new protocol, I guess. What's Sigma? We know that he was building a number of software. So yeah, guess we'll find out. Real or not real? Guess we'll find out eventually. No Ligma phase 2. So this phase 2 of icosahedron. Is it something even bigger than that? We shall see. It's looking pretty cool. What does this mean? Is it icosahedron? A lot of people asking questions. It's a great way to get engagement. That's the way to say there. And of course, this is coming up. So yeah, let's see what it is. Let's go hit the site here. And it's got 735 followers already. There's nothing on it. There's nothing on it yet. So that's Alex McFerder. Like I said, one of the two teams that saved the bear market there. So I'm going to give you a link to this as well if you want to copy and leave a comment. But that's coming from Alex McFerder, and of course, a super smart guy, super nice guy, and we're looking forward to him at this next phase. That's going to be massive, because of icosahedron, great product suite there. All right, so that is from Alex McFerder. Check that out. What else? We've got some more comments here. Good night, family from Next. See you on Bright on the PulseChain. Nice one. All right, so that is from Alex McFerder. Big shout out to him. And of course, then we've got the biggest influencer on X, which is Moon King. I would argue there for PulseChain, biggest dedicated one. That is Moon King B Roots. Final warning, he says. This is overnight. Final warning to all my 110,000 followers that aren't in. If you don't bridge into PulseChain within the next few days, I don't know, but it's a pretty funny video. It's an old video, but he does this video with using this, I guess, R&B singer who's got this very high voice, and then he cuts in, he starts singing about PulseChain and getting onto PulseChain. It's pretty hilarious video. I was going to clip it out, but I didn't. I forgot, didn't have time. But it's pretty funny here, and he's singing this out. He even laughs at the end because he's just so funny. But he's got PulseChain, just flip, rune, and render because it's really quite old, and he's got PulseChain zooming in there. And he goes, by the way, old video, won't be long before rune and render gets flipped, like very soon. And of course, I put hilarious on that one because it is hilarious. We got other teams probably jumping in there. So that was Moon King, and of course, he has 110,000 followers there as well. You guys will probably know him very well. A big supporter previously of PDI and OG Teddy. Now, of course, he's a supporter of Teddy Takeover, and of course, that seems to be related to Mona Lisa and their ecosystem of tokens that recently launched. So yeah, pretty crazy, right? Next is Kryptonite, Superman, keep building. We love you and your work. I appreciate that. Next, big shout out there, PulseChain forever. That is true. All right, that is Moon King doing a pretty cool job there. And of course, you want to find Moon King, I'll post his link as well on the chat there. You can check him out also. All right, so that is that. And of course, he asked President Trump, remember, a big question about crypto. You can check that video out too. So that is from Moon King. And then we're going to get on to promotions. Of course, we're up to an hour and 7 minutes. Man, I thought it was only like 45 minutes through the show. We got here. So this is the Kryptonite show. Hey, that's where we are. We're promoting too. In fact, we've set up, I think as far as I know, I'm aware. I mean, I'm not aware of any others, but we've set up the first professional promotions team on PulseChain. Really felt like that was missing, right? We've got a lot of small to medium teams that need to get promoted, need to get coverage. And they need help to do it, right? So that's what we've set up a team for, and we're really, hit the ground running. I think we're only in like maybe week 5. I think we're in week 5. Is that crazy? Week 5, and we're only just warming up. We've got big plans. We've got a big roadmap, and yeah, it's exciting time. So yeah, if you guys want to get access to that, you can do that. Now, obviously, you can join our socials on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Discord, and Telegram. We're on 5 platforms, and of course, you can do that. We also obviously got some pretty cool stuff on Discord. It's private, so you can join up to that. We've got Strategy Alpha Club, and that's been going off really well. I've been posting so much good alpha in there, and we've got our top 10. That's the one I curated there, and that's performing like a boss. That's only $35 a month, so really good value. It's none of this, silly stuff about $3,500 a month, which some people are doing right out there. There's only $35 a month, so it's pretty good value there. And a community membership as well, $12.50 to get into our private Discord. I really do encourage you to get in there today. The other thing, of course, is our Telegram. We have that's brand new, and you can get in there. We've got a lot of founders and influencers in the Telegram, so and also our free alpha list, so you can check that out too. That's in Telegram, and of course X Game. We've got the first dedicated, and we think going to be the best X Game Telegram group, and that's already. And we've got something special happening for that. So you might want to get on that one. We got, and of course, the promotion. So that's what I'm talking about today. Is that we're getting into professional crypto promotions. It's week 5. We've helped a number of teams already. And if you want to get in, you can do that. So if you're a team out there, you want to get more promotional support, both short-term and long-term, then you definitely hit us up, and we can provide you some options for that as well. Now we've got a big thing coming out on Sunday. So if you want to get on that, it's pretty good value. So if you're a team out there, just hit either myself or MVS up. MVS is our promotional lead as well. So, we'll bring professionalism. We talked about, interviewed ex-USD team yesterday and talking about the professionalism that they're bringing to the PulseChain. There are many other teams bring professionalism, of course. Alex McFerder, we just mentioned, Crypto Coffee. There's lots of cool people doing lots of cool professional stuff. And, giving PulseChain a real ear of professionalism is very important, right? No longer, the wild DGen space, but actually moving, so people can feel a lot more confident about what they're doing. And we feel like there's a big niche in the market there. So, yeah, if you guys want to hit up MVS, you can do that. Now, MVS is here. He's our promotional lead, and he's doing some incredible work out there, really great results. And we've got a big roadmap, and he is helping to ramp that up. You guys we're not going to tell you what it all is, of course, because it's a secret sauce, but it is happening. So if you guys want promotions, if you're in a team, you hit up MVS, and we can set that up and, give you some options about that. We got something really cool coming out this Sunday. You definitely probably want to get on that too. So that is the link there to MVS. A big shout out to him. He's doing a great job too. So you've probably seen him around many times because that's what promotion people do, right? They're sort of everywhere. It's going to play. All right, so that is it. And of course, big shout out. I said earlier, we got their repost of the show. So big thanks to MVS for that. But we got, what else we got? Let me scroll down here. We got this one here. So this is from Frank White. So Frank White's in the chat. I presume that he's still watching at the moment. I think he's way up the top here. Where did I see him up here? Frank White, yeah. Hello from Hexco there. There he goes in the chat there. And he runs a site called PulseStart.me. And so we're going to have a quick look at that now. And huge shout out to Frank White and Function Island and the rest of the team. There's a whole lot of collaborations. I don't know if a lot of you guys know out there, but there's a lot of, and this is part of the promotions that we're doing. We're working with teams. We're always trying to get win-win outcomes, right? This is the future of PulseChain, right? Getting this sort of cool stuff happening, getting conversations going between teams, helping that happen. There's a lot of other people doing that too. You'll see out there, there's, people really starting to network up. It's really positive. And yeah, we're getting some cool things happening. We're playing our part in that. And of course, Frank White is as well, right? So we've got PulseStart.me, and we can see the community chats there. So let's quickly go to that site, and you can see that here. This is Frank White's site here on PulseChain. Pretty awesome, right? It's got all the different mappings here of the projects. It's got dexes, and you can actually hit on each of them, right? So we've got dexes and then PulseX, etc. You can just jump on any of them. There's got all links there, bridges and swap options, on ramps there, shopping as well. We got aggregators, dApps, leading leverage yield. I mean, it is just an incredible list of projects there. So you probably want to save that to your favorites on your Chrome browser or whatever browser you're using. So let's scroll down there and post that in the chat there. So big shout out to Frank White, doing some pretty awesome stuff. I said there's a lot of cool stuff happening, and this is perfect for promotions, right? If you want to send something to somebody, say, hey, join up PulseChain, pick up a few tokens maybe, and if you want to get involved, check out the whole PulseChain. This is probably one of the better sites, right? It's one of the better sites to get involved there on the old start.me there for PulseChain. So pretty awesome. And nice to see, right? So we've got explorers, link staking, Hexco, other tools, wallets, charts and trackers, token lists, things like that, NFT marketplace, community chats, Telegram, trading bots, etc., centralized exchanges, and page sponsors as well. So got a number of page sponsors on there, which is pretty exciting to see. And then we've got general as well. They've got general stuff there. So that's Frank White. Pretty exciting there. Now I'm just having a look at what we got there on the list there. We got just trying to see where we are on that list. So yeah, we've got community chats here. We've got a couple. We've got DeFi Prince, which I just posted earlier, right? So big shout out to him again. Kryptonite shows in there. So thanks very much, Frank White, for adding us to the list. We've got the DGM protocol, the Camel Clan there, Pulse Bear, and Sim Public as well in the community chats, which is pretty awesome. So really great site. Definitely got to check it out as well. They've also got a base page as well from the looks of it. But this is PulseChain side. You can check that out. So big shout out there to Frank White and the team. And of course, once again, if you're a team out there, you want to get that, you maybe got one of the best idea in the world. You're trying to get to the people. Hit us up, and that's what we're here to do, right? So we've helped a number of people so far, and it's well worth getting on there for that one. With good old crypto MBS in the house. Yep. What is it? We got Magic Cup Ride says Frank is badass. He is indeed doing an incredible job out there. Big shout out to Frank again. Alex is in-house there. Fantastic. It's all on one page of PulseChain. Definitely bookmarking that, says Alex. Yeah, it is a really great site. So hope you guys have enjoyed that. So this is what we're talking about. What have we talked about today? We've talked about, obviously, the markets. We've talked about the fact that we are on the precipice of greatness in the markets. That banana chart is very, very close. We've got Trump doing an incredible strategy, and I've broken that down many times, and it's playing out very, very well. We're going to have tons of news over May, June, with trade deals done. The market's just going to eat that up. It's going to eat it up. You've got to remember, Trump is the art of the deal. Trump, so he confuses the market. He's got holding all the cards. He does all the plan. He's also will change things around, left and right. And the other thing, of course, is that he's got supply side economists that actually know what they're doing. None of these liberal progressive economists, which have destroyed the West for the last 50 years, I would argue, definitely since 85. So we got this going. It's awesome stuff, right? It's awesome stuff. And then we've got, obviously, Richard Hart's back. We beat the SEC. We've got all these whales back online. We've got all these community people doing stuff. It really is getting exciting, and I would get excited, guys. It really is fantastic. We're trying to do our best to cover a lot of that on the show. We're getting some of the bigger teams on the show as well. We've just had XUSD. We just had Crypto Coffee, and we've got more coming up in the future. So it's going to be really, really exciting to cover PulseChain moving ahead. And, of course, we've talked about on-ramps. They're coming. This was a very important thing we needed. We need, obviously, to get Signum Oracle up as well. We've got Fetch Oracle. We get Signum Oracles up as well. Tetra, I'm very excited for that coming up. And now we're moving into big money and promotions, right? And promotions are really stepping up here. Everybody gets to play a role. Everybody in the community. You just tell somebody you've promoted, right? You onboard somebody, you're promoted. The network effect is the most powerful at the end of the day. Promotions is very important. So everybody's playing their role in that, and I'm very excited about where we're going to head here. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're up to 1 hour and 16, so it's pretty much at the max of my show, which is really, I pushed it today. I pushed it another minute, but that's just the way it goes. We've got about 110 people watching, so a big shout out to everybody. If you're new to the channel and you love PulseChain and daily content, we're pretty much covering it all, and we do from all the markets through all the news. We're covering some of the top protocols. We're getting involved. We're getting our boots dirty, getting out there promoting and helping out. It is going to be a fun times, guys. It's going to be fun. And, of course, we can't wait for these super hyper green candles and these green weeks and the big X's and all that's coming. We're at the precipice of all that. We may see a God mode candle. I don't know. It could be happening soon. Let's see. We've got some final comments. So let's get into that. We've got Marco now says a trope of bull flag on the daily playing out wonderfully, says Marco. Nice. Pump it. That's true. And, of course, we've got high stakes Hex in the house there. These green candles look beautiful. Many more to come. I look forward to watching them with you, Super A, high stakes Hex. I appreciate that. And I enjoy watching them with you as well. Sharing the journey. That's how we rock and roll. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Peace out, everybody. And I will catch you again tomorrow on tomorrow's live show. And, of course, a big shout out to all the people playing their part on PulseChain, making it bigger and better than ever. We defeated the SEC, and now we're going to defeat those charts and get big giant green candles. That's pretty much it. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. Bye for now.